A basketball scholarship brought 2005 graduate Tim Belsan to Newman University. But after 1 year, he left the sport to immerse himself into his academic journey. With the help of several faculty members, Tim decided to study English and journalism and began writing for the student newspaper.
So I was like a staff writer on the Vantage for the first semester and really fell in love with journalism in a way I had not expected. And it became really a second home for me while I was at the university. I spent many nights in the Vantage offices, both when we were on production schedules and just hanging out with the other staff. The fellow students and the faculty who worked with me on the Vantage really became kind of a second family on campus.
Tim's first introduction to law school was a class trip to an open house at KU Law. He was fascinated by what he learned. Soon after, Professor Larry Heck encouraged him to take the LSATs and apply to law schools. After graduating from Washburn with his law degree, Tim transitioned into a 2-year clerkship with a federal judge in Lawrence, Kansas, before moving to Washington, D.C. to work for the Department of Justice.
So during my time at the Justice Department, I worked on a range of cases. I did some criminal prosecutions. I primarily did civil litigation involving immigration fraud. And sort of the bulk of my career at the Justice Department was involved in prosecuting immigration fraud related to concealing war crimes, terrorist offenses, human rights violations, and holding those individuals accountable for the atrocities and the crimes that they had committed.
Tim was selected early in his career for membership in the Senior Executive Service, gaining important leadership skills along the way. Just a couple of years later, Tim shifted into a new role at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau that more directly impacted a wider range of individuals.
So when the opportunity came up to transition, to go to an office where I could work on cases that affect millions of U.S. consumers, to go to an office where the outcome of some of our cases is that actual consumers, actual U.S. citizens and permanent residents get money back in their pocket that they should not have lost in the first place. And to be able to see cases I worked on where individuals from Kansas get a $6,000 check because of our enforcement activity was just something I couldn't pass up and has been very personally rewarding.
Tim likes to give back in many different ways, but his favorite is through mentorship.
When I look back at what has made the difference for me, a lot of times it's been those relationships and those mentorship relationships, whether formal or informal. And so one of the things I have sought to do throughout my professional career has been to find ways to do the same thing for someone else. So through different organizations, several Wichita organizations, the J.L. Wigand Trust, the Timothy O'Shaughnessy Foundation, I've done formal mentorship as well as worked with other scholars coming up through those programs to sort of develop those relationships that were meaningful to me and hopefully are beneficial to them as well.
Mentorship doesn't stop with his professional life. Tim is also involved with a men's group through his church.
It's always encouraging and important, I think, to have those key relationships be ones that also share a faith and that can push each other and propel each other toward pursuit of the things that really matter eternally, as well as giving back from that vantage point.
Tim's Newman experience taught him to be committed to service, community, and servant leadership. He and his wife strive to instill that in their young children as well.
Successes aside, whether or not you've been celebrated or not, I think that what makes it most rewarding is when you make a difference for someone else. And so I hope that that's a constant in their life, whatever their career choice.
Congratulations, Tim Belsan, recipient of the 2025 Msgr Leon A. McNeill Achievement Award.
Good evening. I hope you all are enjoying tonight's event. I'm disappointed I can't be there in person with you, enjoying the beautiful campus and the fantastic company. And I'm especially missing the opportunity to catch up with you in person, Sister Therese. It's an honor to be selected as this year's recipient of the McNeill Award for many reasons, not least of which is I know the caliber of several of the prior recipients. Folks like the Macias brothers and Judge Tom Malone, who's a longtime mentor of mine and an incredible example of a service-minded attorney. I am deeply moved and honored to be in their company. Looking back at my time at Newman, I cannot help but feel very lucky. People often think of luck as having one of two types, what luck and who luck. What luck being random events or circumstances that occur to you, and who luck being when you come across someone who invests in and guides you and changes the trajectory of your life. Newman was both of those for me. It was a last-second scholarship that brought me to Newman after I had already enrolled in another school. Thank you, Coach Potter. And it was incredible faculty, staff, and fellow students that kept me at Newman. People like Dr. Audrey Curtis-Hain and Dr. Brian Dietrich, people like Dr. Deanna Zitterkov, Dr. Cheryl Golden, Sister Tarcisia, and Sister Charlotte. These people invested deeply in me. In the case of Dr. Golden, that included 2 semesters of one-on-one Latin to satisfy my foreign language requirement. Thank you to her. And undoubtedly, they changed my trajectory. But my time at Newman is proof of a third type of luck, where luck. I think of that as being the truly rare situation where the physical place you are has a unique identity, where the institution is itself a sum far, far greater than its component parts. Newman is such a place. It has an inherent richness to it that is unique among the many academic institutions where I have spent time. A commitment to fostering the depth of life in its students that helps each one of us reach his or her full and unique potential and to transform society. These are more than just words, as anyone who has spent time on campus can attest. I attribute this unique richness to the amazing women who founded and championed this university and to the ongoing relationship with the adorers. It is impossible to spend 4 years here and not be impacted deeply and personally by their commitment to justice, peace, and love for our dear neighbor. It is those commitments that have profoundly impacted me personally and changed the trajectory of what I chose to do with my career and how I've used my training and my skill set. This is a foundation that has stuck with me all of these years. Ultimately, all of you and I know that none of this is really luck. Rather, it is providence and God personally directing our paths. Thank you again for this award. I'm so grateful that God directed my path to Newman, and I would not be the same person or have had the success I have without such wonderful people and such an incredible place. May God bless you all.